Hey guys, my name is TheEpicAlec, and welcome to 60 Seconds Reatomized. And I will admit, I played 60 parsecs before I played 60 seconds, which is, out of order and all of that. But I don't think it really matters because I don't think these stories intertwine at all. Because 60 seconds, which is the prelude to 60 parsecs, takes place on Earth with a small family, while 60 parsecs takes place in space with a bunch of astronauts. But with that said, let's just go ahead and jump right on into it. Now, it should be noted that I am not going into this completely blind. I do remember that I need to do something involving a spider and my daughter in this game if when Markiplier played this game, because I watched his videos on it. So, not completely blind, but fairly blind. Oh god. How do I grab? Let's try that again. That was really bad. Just give me this water me. God dang it. Man, I suck at gathering stuff in this game apparently. I don't have a radio. I forgot that that's kind of a necessity. Right. So basically we're gonna die already, I think. All of us made it into the shelter just a second before the blast. That was a close one. As long as we are all together, we can make it work down here. We remember hearing canned soup is healthy for you. We can't remember bringing those supplies down to the shelter, but we're not complaining. We probably should have stocked it better anyway. We don't have that much food, no one's complaining yet, but even canned soup might become an extravagant dish quite soon. There's just barely enough water for everyone. We will have to ration it strictly. Not rationing out to anybody yet. I always thought life could be much better. That was before we got nuked. Now we think life could be much better. In a way, not that much has changed. Alright. I don't even have a gas mask or anything. Who knows? Maybe the new world will offer new opportunities and it won't be that bad. There's nothing going on with Ted, nothing new anyway. It's always better when things are calm. Luckily, nothing new happened to Mary Jane today. Dolores is doing quite well, or she just can't find anything to complain about today. Timmy's on his best behavior. How long will it last? Ooh. Okay, should we start preparing schedule an expedition? Yeah. Being safe down here. Oh wait, hang on. Is there something? The contamination of our town is still strong. Scavenging in these conditions could result in radiation sickness. Should we start preparing an expedition for tomorrow? Actually, maybe not. Being safe down here is much better than being pulverized out there, but that doesn't mean we don't want to go outside. Maybe we could take a walk soon. The neighborhood is probably much more peaceful since the bombings. I wouldn't risk it. Oh. We can take care of ourselves. Ted needs water to survive. We should get Mary Jane something to drink. Dolores can't remain this thirsty for long. We can't leave Timmy without water for too long, so give everybody water. It looks like the area is still irradiated. Go into the wasteland right now is unsafe unless you don't mind getting sick. Wait. There isn't a lot of space down here and we can smell everything. When one of the wall bricks got loose today and revealed a hole, we felt pretty sick. It's the smell coming from the hole. It's terrible. Should we investigate and remove the source of this stench? Yes. Go for it. I feel like it's problematic if your bunker's falling apart and you can smell something bad. We looked into the hole fearing something might come at us with claws, fangs, or other mutated and sharp body parts, but nothing happened. Instead, we found a dead rat who was trying to break into a can of tomato soup. He failed miserably. We have a feeling we'll be luckier than him, so we confiscated it. We gave the rat a proper burial in an empty can. He deserved that much. Ted isn't thirsty anymore. Mary Jane is no longer thirsty. Dolores is no longer thirsty. Timmy is no longer thirsty. The contaminations of our town is still strong. Scavenging in these conditions could result in radiation sickness. Let's start an expedition. What's that sound? The galloping horse? We rushed to the door and were greeted by two men dressed like they'd come from a medieval fair. We identified the source of the sound. One of them was holding two rocks and hitting them against each other constantly, while the other was skipping and pretending to be a rider. They said they were looking for some antique cup, but they got lost and they would be most grateful if we would let them check our map, provided we have one. We don't have one. Ooh, 5 days. We couldn't contain our laughter, and our guests took offense. They ran off shouting that our ancestors were rodents and smelled like forest fruits. How rude. There isn't much going on with Ted, no trouble, nothing new. Mary Jane isn't worried, or at least she's not saying so out loud. Lois is fine and well, as much as anyone can be fine and well in this tiny shelter. No news is good news. There's nothing new going on with Timmy. Alright, we've been preparing for this expedition since yesterday and feel ready to go right now. Who should be the lucky one to venture into the unknown? Timmy! I give Timmy nothing. He's probably gonna die. He's probably gonna get sick and die. Timmy went out to the wasteland. We don't know what we'll do if he doesn't come back. Ted doesn't drink anything, he won't last long. Mary Jane is very thirsty and has to drink something. Dolores can't remain this thirsty for long. Dolores would really love to eat something. Or, wait, nope, wrong person. No, not the soup. There we go. Mary Jane didn't utter a single word today. This is very odd. Maybe someone should find out what's going on with her. Sure. It's not like it'll hurt anything. Nothing solves problems better than an honest conversation over a hot beverage. We don't have the latter, but talking alone seems to do the trick. Ted is no longer thirsty. Ted's stomach is rumbling. Mary Jane is no longer thirsty. Mary Jane's diet could use a little food. So now you guys want to eat. I see how it is. What's that trickling sound? And why is the wall so wet? Are we about to get flooded? We don't have life preservers. Or a boat. A boat wouldn't even fit inside the shelter. We need to do something. Save the supplies. Well, I can only save the cars because I don't. That's all I have that I can actually save. Oh dear. Well, that was lucky. Shelter filled with water pretty rapidly, and we were certain we were going to drown. With our heads barely above the water, we weren't even able to open the hatch and escape. Before we could start considering the worst, the water level started to drop. We're fine, save for the mess we need to deal with. Today was relatively calm for Dolores. Fine. When we opened the bunker door this morning to let in some fresh radioactive air, we discovered a small suitcase on our doorstep. There was no note on it, and the neighborhood seemed pretty empty. Should we take a look inside? Yeah, see what's inside. Maybe it's supplies. We gladly accepted this sudden gift, and despite our suspicions, it turned out it was just the regular tomato soup that we all know and love. Thank you, kind stranger. Everyone has to drink sometime. Okay. God, we are running out of water rapidly. Something's missing. Let's see. Fan hum, check. Strange noises in our pipes, check. Hellish yells outside, check. Oh, Dolores hasn't spoken for a while now. That's it, and it's really strange. Talking to her would be a good idea. Well, if it's a good idea, let's do it. I will survive. Talking to Dolores helped resolve some of her issues and doubts. She feels better now. Stomach rumbling for Ted. Oops, no, stop it. Stop it. Okay. As we were considering alternatives to the canned soup diet, a sudden knock at the door broke our line of thought. It turned out we were visited by a band of survivors who were in pretty bad shape. All they wanted to get was something to drink, a bite to eat, or at least clean bandages and medicine to attend to their wounded. We can give them food. Let's give them food. Let's give them some soup. Our visitors had problems finding enough words to express their gratitude. Many tears were shed, smiles and hugs exchanged, and they wished us all the best. It's a great feeling to be helping someone out. They left soon after to seek shelter in the ruins of our town. We hope they make it out there. Mary Jane and Dolores could eat. Feed them. Where's Timmy? Ring ring. There we were, thinking we would never hear a telephone signal again when suddenly a phone starts ringing from somewhere outside. We figured it's the phone booth across the street. Should someone go answer it? Ted, you go. Oh wait, what was that star? When we answered the phone, we could clearly hear a gasp of relief from the caller. They introduced themselves as survivors from a nearby town of Hill Valley. We had started exchanging information when the call was cut short. Something must have gone wrong on their side. We hope they will get back to us. Ted is really thirsty. Spray some water. Okay. Where is Timmy? Knock knock. The sound always surprises and confuses us. Could mean anything good or bad, but we're always curious. Should we open the door? Why not? It's just a knocking. It's just a knocking sound. It's not. Ooh. Oh dear. Okay, well. Opening that hatch was a bit risky. It seems it gave us some awful sickness. That coughing is driving us crazy. We were so afraid for Timmy, but he came back from the wasteland and is safe now, with us now. The nuke did most of the destructive work, but gasoline reserves under the nearby gas station blew up as well. All that was left of the place was a crippled cashier's booth and the remains of several cars. Someone might have thought 60 seconds was enough for a gas refill and a quick getaway. They thought wrong. There was an abandoned truck in line for the gas pump. We immediately recognized the logo of a well-known company on its side. Yup, Canned Soup Company. A few water bottles were scattered around in the cashier's booth. None of the explosions damaged them, though it is funny how that pipe's shadow got burned into the wall. One of the cars had a map inside of it. After perusing the chart, we noticed a label which read, "Time Machine Hidden Here." A big red X marks the spot. Stumbled upon a half-eaten sandwich in the cashier's booth and some bug spray. Dad isn't thirsty. Mary Jane caught something nasty. Dolores is no longer thirsty. Timmy's very hungry. He's really tired. Timmy fell sick. I'm sure you're thirsty too. Wait, is Mary Jane thirsty? Nope, okay. You're fine on water too, surprisingly. Looks like the area's already scheduled for another expedition. We can keep sitting on our backsides here in this tiny little bunker. We can start thinking about getting away as far as possible from this radioactive wasteland. Who would have thought the Reds would ruin such a lovely neighborhood? We could do it on our own. The escaping part, not the ruining part, of course. However, there might be someone out there who can help us. Let's keep our eyes and ears open. Well, we can't because we don't have a radio. That's why Dolores is going to get sent outside. We need medicine. If there's one thing we need to do, it's to use the radio on a regular basis to catch any emergency broadcasts that might be transmitted in our area. It's either that, or it's strolling around outside waiting to get picked up. The first option sounds a bit more sane. If we don't cure Mary Jane soon, who knows what will happen. Timmy's very hungry. If we don't do anything about Timmy's sickness, it might get worse. Timmy needs to rest a bit longer. Timmy doesn't need much, but he should drink. Ted is fine. Dolores is quite calm given the situation. Okay. Alright, Dolores, you go outside. Dolores. Ah, poor Timmy. Dolores is on her way to the surface. Let's hope she'll make it back safe and sound if we don't cure Mary Jane soon. Mary Jane is thirsty. Timmy's hungry. Ted should drink something. We've discussed everything we could do, and no one. We've discussed everything we could, and no one is willing to chat anymore. The silence is really disturbing. We should do something before we start talking to ourselves instead. We can't. We don't have a radio. Should have found a damn radio. There's nothing here. Maybe if we try really hard, we can hear the neighbors in their shelter. Ted is hungry. Ted is really tired. Mary Jane's quite hungry. Really tired. Hungry. Everybody's hungry. Except for Timmy. If we care about the future of our kids, we need to start homeschooling Timmy. Or maybe shelter schooling is the right choice of words these days. We need to provide him some reading material as soon as possible. Well, we can give him the bug spray to read, I guess. He's probably gonna die here soon, though. Oh, hey, it's the company's logo on the wall. All I have is the anti-bug spray. It has a few labels that Timmy can read. Who would have thought he would be curious enough to spray himself in the face? That was unfortunate. Ted's stomach is rumbling. Are there any drugs? Okay. Timmy's hungry and thirsty. Ted is still hungry. We felt that we should do something about our interior decoration. The feng shui is really often our fallout shelter. While we were moving things around, we found a secret door. What's behind it? There's only one way to find out. Alright, flashlight. What was that sound? Holy cow, this is one lucky day. While browsing through the junk in the room, we found a working radio. Let's put it to good use. Yeah! Ted is still tired. A few days of rest. So where's water when Ted needs it? Aren't there any drugs? Give him something to drink. Still quite sickly, no longer thirsty or hungry. This is thirsty. Thirsty go. Alright. We know very little about what's going on inside. It would be good to use an idea to find out more. Maybe discover if anyone else made it to safety. A radio could help with this. Yes, it could. That's why we're going to use it. Where's Dolores? You're able to get a weak signal and tap into the government's emergency announcement service. And guess what? Great news! Fallout outside is mostly gone. It should be much safer to travel on the surface now. Ted is still tired. A few days of rest is what he needs. Ted is no longer thirsty. Mary Jane is still rather sick. Mary Jane seems sleepy all the time. Mary Jane is no longer thirsty. Okay. Where's the ball when you need one? We are really bored and we need something to occupy ourselves with. Too many hours of counting pipe droplets is not healthy. There has to be an alternative. Use the cards. You need the radio for emergencies. Survivalist. Dolores is back and she got a book. There are a few things as relaxing as cards, and we only have cards, so a game or two doesn't hurt. We're glad to see Dolores come back safely from the wasteland. The local school is a big building a mile away from our house. Nobody liked that place. The atomic blast didn't change that. Now, without windows and few walls remaining, it looks even more unpleasant. Pleasant or not, it seemed like a good spot to hunt for some useful supplies. Everybody adored that lunch lady. She was almost 80 and everything she touched tasted great and smelled of tomato. Now we know her secret. Tomato soup cans. The biology class had an aquarium. The fish had died since no one fed them, but the aquarium water could still be drinkable. There was enough for a few bottles. The local scout team had its own room in the school basement. We found it filled with boxes and boxes of scout handbooks. Maybe they were preparing for the apocalypse. Anyway, we just took one. The last expedition got us thinking. Maybe we could just drive away from this nightmare somehow. Of course, most of the automobiles available are completely burnt out, but if we find a solid base and scavenge enough parts, perhaps we could build a vehicle of our own. We'd better keep an eye out for those on future expeditions. Ted is still mighty tired and needs more time to recover his strength. Aren't there any drugs? Mary Jane's diet could use a little food if you don't do anything about that. What did that say about Timmy? Everybody should drink. I can't send anybody out. If there's anyone who can rescue us from this hellish situation, it's our government. You can badmouth them all you want, but that probably means you're either a naysayer or a commie. We're good citizens. We've been paying our taxes regularly, so we're sure Uncle Sam is coming to get us. Well, except that one time when we... never mind. The government people are coming, and we should keep our ears and eyes open for any sign from them. Alright then. What happened to Timmy's hair? We knew it! The government has not fallen and they're coming to save us. They didn't give exact dates in their radio transmission, but we're sure they won't keep us waiting long. They said they will be in touch for a couple of days and told us to wait for the instructions. Ted is still mighty tired and needs more time to recover strength. Where's water when Ted needs it? No longer hungry. Give him something to drink. Drink. Eat. Okay, so drink, eat, drink. We were paid a visit today by a young man worried about his twin sister who went missing in a bandit camp not long ago, while acting as a spy and trying to get her hands on the plans of the new bandit out fortress. He seems to trust us fully and is very friendly, but obviously concerned. He asks that we come to his aid in his hour of need, and really good things might happen to us if we manage to succeed. Send Timmy. This way we at least don't have to see his dead body. The young man was assisted by a group of other survivors, all armed but really friendly. We found the girl, threw her a weapon, and fought off the bandits guarding the exit. Siblings were happy to be reunited, but also very confused. Turns out the bandit leader is actually their father! Crazy small world we live in. Anyway, they were really thankful and promised to contact us again soon. Ted is hungry. Timmy is hungry. Dolores is hungry. We are not doing well. Okay, we can start an expedition then. You would expect the post-apocalypse to be a time of peace and quiet since, you know, most of the people aren't around anymore. Yet, here we have someone at the door. When we opened it up, we encountered a strange-looking man in a blue jumpsuit who asked us to trade him a water chip. A water chip? When the hell is that? Well, give him a bottle of water, I guess. Just to see what happens. And he took our water. We explained politely that we didn't have a water chip, but we were happy to share some water with him. The man was visibly disappointed, but thanked us for the water and even left us his gas mask. Odd. Mary Jane is still rather sick. Dolores would really love something to eat. Timmy's thirsty. Dolores is hungry. That's it. It's lost the water. Dolores, you go and take the gas mask with you. And this is where everything dies. Because we have no water. And we need water. Yeah, Timmy and Mary Jane are thirsty. Ted is thirsty too. God. Uh-oh. I heard somebody sneeze. It's not... Who? A sleazy-looking trader carrying an equally scruffy bag on his shoulder paid us a visit. He offered us a simple one-time deal. For just one can of soup, we get the bag and all of its contents. We can't see what's inside, and the trader gives us angry glances every time we take a step towards the mysterious bag. Should we make a deal? We have to. Well, Ted is dead, we got a cat, and Timmy refuses to look at his father's dead body, and... Wait, did Mary Jane turn into a cat? As soon as the door closed behind the trader, the bag started to violently shake, emitting screeching, hellish sounds. Terrified, we backed up against the walls. When the beast finally escaped, it turned out to just be an angry house cat. The feline gave us a menacing look and promptly sat down in the corner to clean itself. Its collar says Sharikov. Is that its name? Okay. Alright. Well then. What did you do to the mask? We could tell the stranger was disappointed, but that was none of our business. Well, we got water now. Okay. And we got a first aid kit finally. We got a radio. Okay. Alright. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Feed and drink. Heal. Start an expedition. If Sharkov considers our shelter its home now, we might as well try to get along. We could try to carry it around and pet it on the head. All cats like a good pet, and Sharkov should hopefully be no exception. Otherwise, any attempt to touch the cat could lead to our untimely deaths. Should we try to play with him? Why not? We have nothing left to lose. Ted is dead, so it's basically just Dolores and Timmy now. We actually rubbed its head before it ran away in panic. It was nice and soft. They say getting a fluffy animal is good for you, and sure enough, we feel slightly better. The cat escaped our warm, friendly embrace and jumped to the other side of the shelter, knocking a water bottle off the shelf in the process. And it shattered and left a dirty puddle, as if to remind us of the questionable choices that led us here. Okay. The army is on the radio again. They said they'll be scouting the neighborhood and need to find clear signs of survivors that are still alive. We were asked to leave a few cards at the nearest bus stop to mark how many people occupied our shelter. We should get going if we want to make it before nightfall. Alrighty then. Again with the knocking. Old Sharikov looks pleased. Cards are in place. All we need to do is wait for the army to pinpoint our location. That shouldn't take long. We hope. Right, Dolores is thirsty. You'll get water. We're almost out of water. Our friends are back. Twins managed to find a safe spot that would do pretty well as a camp for their group. Everything was going well until the workers got into a fight with a raider band. It's very important for the group to finish the camp fast, but they're injured or not able to work. They're asking if we have any spare med kits that could help them take care of their patients. We don't. I bet Sharkov ate all of Ted's flesh. We were sorry to do so, but we had to refuse. We need the meds for ourselves. You never know when one of us will fall sick or get injured, and who is to say they would help us as well. They were disappointed, but they understood. At least we think they did. Alright, Dolores, eat. Sharkov sure can take care of itself, but we can't help but wonder how much of a self-made cat it is. Just so happens that we found an address on its collar. It's unlikely that its owner is still alive, and a trip to the wastelands is always risky. Should we go outside and check that address? Sure. Do it. Do it. Do it. Where'd Sharkov go? Grabbed our new fluffy friend for a little stroll through the waste, only to immediately run into a couple of gentlemen dressed in trench coats, fedoras, and shades. They gritted their teeth at the sight of the cat and said they'd been looking for it. Apparently it belongs to their dear old Nan, who loves it dearly. Before we could utter a word, they took Sharkov, thanked us, and left. The cat didn't seem to mind, so maybe it's for the best. Ooh, yeah, about that. I can't trade. But the salesman was very friendly. To our surprise, we found Sharkov back on our shelter this morning. We're not exactly sure why or how it came back. Is it our good care it appreciates? Our kind hearts? Optimism? Or just our stockpile of soup cans? Only time will tell. Alright, well. Ooh. Someone paid us a visit today. It was an overly cheerful, red-haired woman accompanied by a grumpy-looking mercenary type who was probably her guard. She told us she was a trader and eagerly showed us the items she brought along. Let's get the gun. Let's get the gun. Yes, gun. Timmy's sick. We managed to work out a deal. The woman also gave us some tips about surviving in the wasteland, but her advice seems pretty useless. We already know that radiation is dangerous and that hitting a rat with a stick will eventually kill it. We thanked her and said our goodbyes. We were so afraid for Timmy, but he came back from the wasteland and is safe with us now. If we're desperate enough or have peculiar dietary needs, any place can be interesting enough to look for supplies. For instance, garbage cans. Garbage collection was supposed to be happening around this time, but the trucks never came. We never thought we would say that, but we aren't complaining. One of our pre-blast neighbors threw out a few unopened cans of soup. Ha! Joke's on him. If he's in this shelter right now, he's probably full of regrets. With a lawn like that, who wouldn't be? Oh, the irony. Or maybe a paradox? Or maybe neither. The gas mask is laying in a pile of stinky garbage. It might sound paranoid, but we think someone followed us. Let's just hope this doesn't happen again. We don't have any ammo if somebody shows up. We also don't have any water. Curiosity almost killed the cat. Sharikov found a tiny wire sticking out from the ceiling and pulled it out. Plaster and debris fell on our table, topped off with a big meowing furball. What is this thing anyway? Nobody remembers it being there before. The cat might get angry if we take away the wire, so maybe it's best to leave it be, or shall we examine the wire? Let's examine the wire. Why did the door open? We followed the wire outside and found a half-burned-out truck with two surprised gentlemen inside, surrounded by an array of blinking bulbs. That's some space tech right there. Are they listening in on us on our very own shelter? Their feeble excuse about a roadside picnic didn't convince us. Even Timmy knows you can't have picnics here, and the car had no wheels. Timmy should eat something, he needs to drink something, Dolores needs to drink something, but we can't drink anything because no water. I think Timmy's done. Our last expedition brought news of a vehicle parked just down the street. It sure looked unique, but we never got close enough to get a good look. We're almost certain it's not a bandit trap. Perhaps we should send someone over to check it out. Timmy! A shocking discovery. It was a dirty ice cream truck. It was a little crispy around the edges, and it was also missing wheels and some other crucial parts, but the seats were fairly comfortable. Wouldn't it just be amazing to just drive away and leave this radioactive hell behind us? Okay, so I can put that together now. Give him some food, maybe that'll help. The agents who were spying on us are now at the door and want to explain themselves. Shall we hear them out? Sure. Why not? Hear them out. Last man standing. Whoa, 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 whoa. What? What the? The end. They were agents. Real, live, secret agents on a government mission. We saw their identity cards briefly. They weren't listening in on us. It was the cat they were interested in. They made a request too, wanting us to aid them with some of their top secret missions in the future. If we do that, they promise they will extract us to a government safe house full of supplies and donuts. Hopefully they come back soon with more information. Our return was far from happy. We found our home inhabited by somebody else, a group of people to be precise. They weren't interested in sharing their shelter, as they said. No room for us then. It's time to find a new home. Lack of water drove Timmy insane. He opened the shelter door and ran away without looking back. He's not likely to return. Ooh. Of all places we could have perished, this is probably the best one. Or maybe not. I died. You were driven away. Okay, so I didn't die. I just was driven away. Alright then, well, looks like I'm just as bad at this game as I am at 60 parsecs, which makes sense since it's the same concept. But I'm going to leave this video here. If you like what you saw, hit that like button. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. I don't care if you hit the bell. If you have any tips or suggestions on how I can beat this game, let me know down in the comment section below. Seems like I was actually pretty close with Sharikov. Actually, Let me know if you even want to see more of this game in the comment section too while you're at it, if you are going to leave tips, tricks, anything like that. But yeah, I will see you guys later.